One and all, from a very dismal SJP. Strawberries in the background, as you can see. Not the usual spot. Now I saw a lad the other day, and he was funny enough. He was talking about it all the way walking along colour coats in front of the church on the sands. And I thought, well, what do I? Nah. But I'm up here today just for a little. You know, every time I'm up here I like to come down and have a little look. So I'm at the Gallowgate, which unfortunately for the last game I ever saw here, Sheffield United, nearly 30 years ago. It's got to change that. Some 30 odd years ago I came here with my cousin, and this was just the old bricks, steps up, so on and so forth. If you Google it, you'll see what it used to look like. It was the only bit left. I've told people have told you all before, it's snowing here. It's funny enough that people were selling these Santa hats because it was coming near Christmas. And as Craig says, don't they just look like a load of those guys from that bloody Pet Shop video? You know, the Pet Shop boys with the big pointy hats. And I always remember a lad selling them in the town centre, showing two army Santa hats, pound each. Bloody hilarious. Anyway, I've just had a shock in the club shop. So I haven't come away with anything. £5 for a friggin' biro. £5 for a bloody biro. Oh, it's got wood. It's wooden sided. Wood effect. It's probably about as wooden as the interior of a shitty old Rover. Sorry. So fuck off. Bloody glad I got all my merchandise years ago and I kept the bugger and never really, you know. I never got rid of it. It just put into isolation till Ashley fucked off. I could have my club back. Anyway, obviously the aftermath. This is obviously West Ham's the scene, and so this place will be quiet. And I've got a little soft spot for West Ham. The first football club I ever saw. I visited Cambridge United many years ago. It's long, 79. Anyway. So Hammers away, could be tricky. Moyes, and in a way I'm pleased for Moyes because we'll get to them in a minute. The scum, the scum fans made it very difficult for him. Ferguson threw him under the bus. There's been a whole succession of bosses since then, and I like to think that the club they're going to go back that way. But focusing on West Ham, Moyes pulled in for oh wow, look at this. There's a magpie flying past just behind me there. How's that? But it's just the single one. How's the wife and family, mate? Yeah. You can hear him squeaking. He's just down there in the tree. Sorry, I'm a bit of an ornithologist. Where I live, it's beautiful. There's birdies everywhere. It's gorgeous. But Moisey, I'm pleased for him because he obviously had a hell of a time of it at Trafford, and it's difficult really with them because most of the time they're bastards. There's no other question about it. They're bastards. They're spoiled, rotten. They've had it easy for years. And to go on about Manchester United, all right, and I know it's negative here, but to go on about Manchester United, to get them in a context here, I was at school as a kid with two Man U fans, all right. One of them was a genuine Manc, you know, he was actually from Lancashire, and the other one, his family were. The other one hopped onto the Man United bandwagon because he was bloody fan of them. Being a devoted fan every year. He's as fucking cockney as a jellied eel. Load of bollocks, you know. And you know, I'm from around here. I'm from 9 miles in that way, over there. North Shields, all the rest of it. I mean, my missus says to me, "Oh, you know, you live the majority of the time down south." But I was born within a mile of the bloody Tyne, so there's nothing. But you know, this pal of mine, well, he was a pal. I think we keep in touch with him, can't be bothered. He's fucking, oh, Man U. He's like all the others, and there's dozens of the bastards where I live in Norfolk. You know, they've all. It's all, of course, to do with Munich, and fair play. Munich situation was terrible. I feel a bit for Bobby Charlton. Mind, you know, he stuck his nails, he stuck his colours and nailed them on, and I had to red and white all that time. You know, I feel bad for his brother actually, because he had it. What a waste that was. We lose Arthur Cox. He came in. He should have bloody stayed. Look what the bloody hell he did with Ireland. Christ, man. He gets a national team who've never been to either a World Cup in their lives, and then they make 2 in a row. Fuck. You know, they jumped in where Northern Ireland were there with good old Billy Bingham. But United, can't stand them. So fingers crossed for the Hammers tonight, because that's going to be an interesting game, you know. And they were a bit. We were watching Paqueta this week, and some of the commentators call him Paqueta, Paqueta with his bra, Paqueta. All right, end of fucking story. That would have been it was perfect for Geordies to pronounce. Wow. You know, Lewis Paqueta crisps, packet of this, packet of that, packet of dog food. And I see Zuma there as well. I was watching, as I say, I've been watching those highlights at the weekend. But damn shame he didn't come to join us. He really was. You know. But then again, if we beat them tonight and he looks at the situation and the squad, he's going to think, you know what, I can get out of this shite. Go and see me pal. You know. And a trinity of Brazilians would be better, but I think we we really need a striker. We've got Joe and Bruno in the middle. You know, Joe wanting off, you know, to the flanks sometimes. You know, and God knows it didn't take Eddie long to figure out how bloody good he was. You know, because he wasn't a bad player. He was just, you know, you might as well stuck a goalkeeper up front and wondering why we cannot get the ball in the fucking net. He's not that kind of player. It's typical Ashley, typical Bruce. You know, I noticed there's somewhere there the other day when I'm having my little rant here as well. West Brom suddenly they're transformed now that fucking not now that you know the potato head's gone, fucking cabbage boy. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, I'm being up here today. I'm resplendently, as you can see, decorated. So suitably. And you know, in the old vintage shirt, but it's a crazy thing. And I mean, like I said, I know I could rant on and on and on about Manchester United. I mean, I noticed someone's calling him 10 Bob. I call him 10 quid. You know, old Eric 10 quid, because that's what, frankly, that's what his tactics appeared to be. He's got no dimension to it. Sitting there slagging us off. You know, looking for trouble. I did notice, because I always thought Eddie was really mild-mannered and just, you know, yeah, well, just Mr. Quiet. Yeah, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's on there, good lad, you know, fuck it. Show your teeth now and then, you bloody deserve to. Hell's bollocks. This is how somebody said, you know, if you were to take this season and look at the manager, they're going to give it they'll give it to Arteta because of Arsenal's transformation, and that's what's tragic. Arsenal have had an incredible season. They've transformed. Arteta's done this, but we've outfoxed him already this season, and he's still. I mean, he could come here and win, but back in May, it didn't look like a hope in hell. You know, they turned up. They didn't know who the hell they were. I think they were confused. They were wearing yellow instead of their usual red and white, whatever the fuck that usually was. Why the hell they were doing that? That's their business. It's a shame that Eddie won't get manager of the season, and I think it's a fucking shame that he isn't shortlisted, because you look at how many club managers could have walked in now, done what he's done. Not only that, I watched footage there of Sunday night after the game, and I don't know whether it must have been deliberate. It said, look, the cameras are on here, do this. Every single one of those lads sat there while he spoke. It was almost as if the voice of God had opened the clouds and said, this is what we're going to do. And of course he's a quiet-spoken lad, so I guess probably that's why they're quiet as well. But he speaks, and there's absolute fucking silence. You know, I mean, if that's not respect, what the hell is there? If that's not a group of lads who obviously don't just worship him, they fucking adore what he's done, because they know he's inspired every single one of them. You know, even the useless gods. I mean, Murphy, I wouldn't have given him a fucking second chance, but he was sparkling on Sunday. Maxi, that's the best I've seen Maxi playing since the Cabbage left, because he was having to do the whole thing. He was literally, he was the fucking the motorised cart horse hauling this entire fucking dead weight. But on the subject of the Cabbage, I had the loveliest thing the other day. I'm on my social media and I see this thing and I thought, really? And Facebook, I look up and it's Joe Willoquino. I'd put this post, just put Willoquino, I'd put the England flag, I'd put the Brazilian flag next to it. Put them in there because obviously Bruno is giving him a Brazilian nickname, Willoquino, like Mirandina, you know, Jorginho, or whatever you want to call him, you know, Rivellino, fucking, oh, now you're talking. And he popped up and he just said the loveliest thing, which was just very simply, thank you for all the inspiration, and it's kind of how the things, I don't normally talk to fans. And I'm like, dude, you fucking, you saved our season 2 years ago. You literally saved us from the championship a season before. And I think theoretically, you could go as far as to say he gave us the chance to get the takeover. So if it hadn't been for Joe's goals keeping us up, the deal wouldn't have been able to get through. There would have been a thing below. Maybe the Saudis would have thought, well, they really are in a mess here. Christ, we've got to dig them out. We haven't had to be dug out from a fucking third division, which, you know, City had to with Rubinho and so on and so forth. They were third tier. You know, we've been really lucky, unlike City and Sunderland, clubs that have always been in the top flight. We've never been lower than second tier. You know. Well, it was just, that was such a I'm like, oh dude, mate, you know, rest of the season. So I paid him a compliment back and I said, you know what, it's lovely that we have so few London-based players. I think they feel a little bit intimidated up here. But don't be, because they'll have taken you to the hearts already, the way they did McDonald, the way they did with Rob Lee, the way they did with Gavin Peacock. You know, to a certain extent. Oh, no, I can't think of him off the top of my head. But anyway, you know, we've had London-based players here before. We've had Londoners. Most of the time up here, they're a bit... Let's always see Londoners as flash. Always have done. Because they are. You know, by nature. Cockneys are just, you know... They always said the most useless fucking publication you could possibly put in London is the Encyclopedia Britannica. Because Cockneys know every fucking thing, you know. Absolutely pointless. Don't bother, just hoy them out, you know, leave them for everywhere else. Because Cockneys know the fucking lot, you know. They have extended brains, that's why they're good taxi drivers knowing all these roads. So, you know, some disgusting habits, and God only knows they're the loudest bastards in the entire pub. When you come anywhere, it's always Cockneys going on about, oh no, oh my God, fuck off. And have that way that when they're really angry, they talk really, really loud, quiet. Instead of being really loud, it's like, oh really? You want to do something about it? Yeah? A bit Jason Statham. Funny thing, actually I know somebody's sister actually was dating Jason Statham. There's the thing. Blah de blah. But anyway, we're here at the Millburn. I'm just whittering on and jibbing time. But yeah, so Sunday was the most satisfying thing, and then I've seen lots of posts, banter on social media and things about, you know, oh, where's your trophy? What's happening since your trophy? It's the only thing either side of that trophy you haven't done a fucking thing, so what are you bragging about? One game and you're flying at things, you know. No way. The difference is, right, we've got a ground that, look, isn't dropping to bits now, hasn't got rats in it. You know, we're not owned by people who just want to fucking balance the books and get out there. We used to be. We just wanted somebody who wanted a free ride. That was our owners, and the Glazers are much the same. If they get sold to the Qataris with some stupid amounts of money, actually it will be a shame, because they're a club that really don't need the fucking money. However, they're the big, you know, I mean, I was watching some footage the other day, and they were like, you know, you're seeing United, now fuck off home. You're seeing United, to fuck off home. And they're like, well, actually, no, you've met United, and now you should get back on your fucking trains, go to King's Cross, back to the home counties, Kent, Essex, Suffolk, few in Norfolk, of course, bless them. You know, that's what's poetic. Norwich fans with their back up and good old Man U. Oh yeah, well, he's Norwich a shit. We'll support Man U. Like, but they both fucking lost, you know. And they didn't just get schooled on Sunday. They got pumped. There's no fucking way of putting it. They got pumped. I'm not going to use the word I'd like to use, but proper fucked, you know. You know. To quote the Snatch line, now we are proper fucked. Bloody hell. You know, and for the rest of your season, you've still got your cup, the FA Cup distraction. You've still got your Europa League, whatever UEFA, whatever the hell is, the orange, the gold cup thing. We haven't got anything to worry about except 3 intermittent games coming very, very quickly, and then interim games, whatever you want to call them, and then it's done. We haven't got to worry about cups. I think it was shrewd part on Eddie to say, fuck it, let Sheffield Wednesday have their moment in the sun. Hasn't done them any good. I've been looking the other day, they've been struggling like hell. You know, that's the worst thing we ever could. The worst thing Wednesday could have done was beaten this. But it's the best thing's ever happened to us as a result. The way that 12 months ago, 12 months hence, previous, we lose to Cambridge and our season's just sparkled. Bang. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, you can see the place is obviously dropping a bit. Still got the old park and stuff up here. But at least they're doing something about it. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be at Old Trafford right now. I wouldn't be a man. I wouldn't want to be a fan of them right now. You know. You seeing United, no fuck off home. What a joke. You're a bunch of wankers. And I watch these old games where they rab on about things, and there's a little point. This is a serious one here. I sometimes notice that Manchester United fans think that they're God's gift, and there's always this sort of bit about football violence and stuff. Here's an interesting one, right? I've got the name of the man. Their skipper in the year they were relegated by Dennis Law, with his back heel. They went down, they were playing. Actually, funny enough, the game they featured Leyton Orient, Orient were wearing their colours, so that turned up in these white shirts. And their skipper was interviewed by Brian Moore at Brisbane Road, and he's not blah blah blah. And this is this Scottish skipper, Willie Morgan, and he said, "Now, Willie, you've got an interesting blah 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 about an interesting thing to say about them." And he says, "Well, yes," he says, "actually, well, that's the thing, Brian. We're a proud club, and we don't want." You know, we don't want the bad element of it. And he was saying, "Oh, you're referring to the fans." As he was saying, these lot can piss off. We don't want these. That wasn't the words he used, obviously, on ITV in the afternoon, but it was along the lines of, "Look, we don't want these fuckers at our club," and all the rest of it. I noticed that Old Trafford, one year they went from this tiny little 2-foot high fence, little wood thing, looked like something out of a bloody Playmobil set. And a couple of years later, they've got cages, really nasty spiked bend cages to keep. This is all the way around the ground. Now, at some point, of course, we didn't have cameras every week at every ground, which is the way we do now. People nowadays don't realise just how lucky you were. If your club was on fucking telly, wow, you know, hey, we're on telly this week. The football fans were caged in like animals at Old Trafford. So for United fans to brag on about, "Oh, we're all," no, you're not holier than thou. You know, your own club were treating you like fucking animals in a bastard zoo. So, you know, I mean, yeah, we've been known for the occasional maniac to punch a horse. Not clever. I'm not particularly happy about that either. You know, I'm not a person who's an advocate for animal cruelty in any way. It's a fucking police horse. It's got to do a job, prick. But, you know, United fans, they're a nasty lot, and a laddo around here is outside, because obviously they found the first pub that got off the train, in fact, to get at, and he was Eddie from Tyneside Life's busy talking to them, and they're giving him some real fucking, go back to that fucking, all sound, fucking, Do you know, every time I think of a Manc, I always think of fucking, what do you call it, Kathy Burke, doing a bit where she's always, oh Perry, you've been back to Manchester. Yeah, Kev, sound, blah blah blah, swagger, swagger, swagger. You know, the Manc walk. Ian Brown sort of strutting around. The whole fucking lot of them, you know, they think they're the fucking the best. They're not. They're not. And I'm glad that the football did the talking on Sunday, showed them for what they were: clueless, one-dimensional, not able to handle the pressing. It's depressing that I think the Wembley occasion got to the lads for the final, but it was one final. It was the proving the point we got there. All right, we're not going to keep losing. You know, I'm sure at some point in time, Brady and his Patriots in NFL got to a final and lost it, and then off they went, and everyone was like, "Fucking hell!" And it was just an onslaught. Then he's gone to another franchise and doing it again. So there's your end. See, I know it's NFL, but it's proving its point. You know how quickly fortunes can change, and that's the thing I love about NFL actually. If you've got a shit team, they get given a decent player and they start to improve again, so it rotates things, you know, because otherwise you've got teams like United and so on and so forth, the same boring clubs winning everything, you know. That's why we needed that final. It would have been proving the point that a new team's gone and won a fucking trophy in England, you know. It hasn't been the same six cabal. I'm sorry, Man City, I know that I'm kind on you, because City particularly aren't a nasty bunch, not like the other lot. But anyway, yeah, the nasty cabal. It's well, anyway. But right, where were we? Keep moving around. Okay, well look, I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell. There's the straw. I'm going to go for a wander, probably get the bus home. I've got stuff to do in the afternoon. It's 12 o'clock. Got stuff to do this afternoon. What have you, but go around, have a little look at the city, and hop on a 306 home. Well, it is home. It's a second home. But nice to see you all. I'll do another one from one of these days. I'll actually do a video from down south, so it'll be interesting. It's a lot quieter, of course, but. It'll be probably near the end of the season. We'll see where we are. And my prediction, I don't really know what I can make predictions like that, because my assessments are the crap usually. You know, the only time I ever got it right was '96, when I knew we were going to throw away that 12-point lead. You know, that's what Sunday was about, and that's what the bastards don't realise. And here's an interesting one for you. Okay. Instead of whining about it, what they should have realised was there is a sort of backhanded respect to all this. Because yeah, what we're saying are things and others, don't they realise it means that much to us to beat them? They should be flattered, not fucking angry. You know, you're entitled to lose. You do realise that, because actually losing you will make you a more galvanised fucking outfit. To keep winning everything all the time, A, it's boring. B, it just, if you do lose, it makes you stronger. You know, and it's the old thing. That's what makes it. If you imagine if we'd been losing all the time, right, and being able to get the strength from it. You know, because this is the thing. I think Eddie, in the end, will get them stronger. Anyway, look, I've got to shut the hell up because this is getting really long now. I might have to break this up into 2 parts. Anyways, laters, and keep watching if you are. Thank you. Ta-ra.